here, and we're at the Seasonal Kitchen Cooking School in Pittsford, New York, with Chef Samantha Buyskes. And she has just done an episode of Chopped on the Food Network, and we're very, very excited to have her here. As a matter of fact, I have a little something to give you, to congratulate you for the great job that you did.
Really?
Yes, it's actually a little bottle of wine that I think you'll really appreciate. It's called Fish Eye, and it actually goes very well with pasta dishes that have fish heads in them. So I hope you enjoy that. Anyway, Sam did an awesome job on Chopped. If you didn't see it, she did probably had one of the hardest baskets ever. Goat brains, fish heads, and durian.
Holy-poly.
Yeah, holy-poly. But tell us a little bit about how you got to Chopped and what led you there.
Well, I auditioned back in November of 2009 and was cast to do season 6, which I actually filmed in September. And had to keep my secret until it aired on Tuesday night. So it seems like it was forever ago that I did the whole show, and I can't believe that it actually happened. And it was really great and really fun to watch it, even though I did get chopped after my beautiful fish head experience. But I don't know, who's really worked with fish heads?
That was a tough one. That was a tough show. They said that was probably one of the hardest baskets they had ever given to the chefs. So you did a fabulous job. You looked so confident. Were you nervous at all when you were doing it?
I was nervous when I saw the fish heads, but really the rest of the ingredients all made sense to me, both in the first round and the second round. It was very, very stressful. But I just went with what I knew and how I knew, how I knew how to do things. And I fell back on just sort of staying in that strength.
Fabulous. You did a great job of representing the Finger Lakes. It was just so nice to see your intro and what you do in the Finger Lakes at Simply Red Bistro, which is at Sheldrake Point. And how are you open all year, or what are you?
Well, the Sheldrake Point location is seasonal. It's early April to the end of October. We have a year-round location at La Tourelle Resort and Spa, and that's in Ithaca. We do breakfast and lunch there. But yeah, so it's kind of nice to be seasonal. I get a little downtime, some time with my 5-year-old daughter, get to travel. I go to New York a lot, see what the other chefs are doing. I was just at Marcus Samuelson's fabulous new restaurant called Red Rooster in Harlem. So, I do my research. So.
Is anybody recognizing you now that you've been on, national TV? Have you been out and about and had people come up and say, "Are you Samantha from Chopped?"
Here in Rochester.
It happened today.
Right, I was in Rochester today. Definitely had a few people. I've got a lot of Facebook friend requests. I'm not sure who they are, which is great to see. But yeah, a little bit. And people keep saying, "Oh, how does it feel to be a star?" And I'm like, I don't know. I guess because I didn't win, that I don't feel like a star.
Well, you really won. You won in a lot of people's minds just to be on the show and be selected to be one of the competitors, and you really did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, to make it from the Finger Lakes, which was a really big deal. I mean, I was one of the first chefs that they did to branch out of New York, Philly, and New Jersey. So to actually showcase the Finger Lakes, an area that we all know is an up-and-coming area for wine and for food, and to be a part of that story and to get them to come here was, that was enough for me to even just say, that I got on the Food Network. I didn't want to go out in the first round, which is definitely what didn't happen, and just to have them come here was wonderful, and they were blown away. I mean, when the producers came to shoot my bio, they couldn't believe, So I can only believe it's going to lead to more things for the Finger Lakes with the Food Network or other food channels as they discover the talent that we have both here in the Finger Lakes, Rochester area, that there's some amazing chefs and amazing wine.
It's really exciting, and you really helped to bring this region into the limelight, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, you're here in Rochester for a couple days at the wonderful Seasonal Kitchen Cooking School. Some wonderful people out. Oh, they happen to be my parents who actually run this cooking school. And Sam has already sold out all of her classes. When she comes, it usually takes chefs a while to work up a following, but Sam is now officially a sellout. So when she comes, we try to get it up on the calendar ahead of time. But you can always call the Seasonal Kitchen at 624-3242 if you're interested in when Sam is coming to do her demonstration next. But you're doing a great class this week. Last night was fantastic, and we're going to do it again tonight for a sold-out crowd. What's the menu?
Well, we're doing a Tuscan-style feast. We're doing some baked focaccia, baked mozzarella cheese with oven-cured tomatoes, olives, and fresh basil. We're also doing a Caesar salad with a classic Caesar dressing made with fresh anchovies and has raw egg in the dressing. And then we're doing a braised beef shank. The beef is locally raised in Romulus, New York, from Autumn Harvest Farm, and we're doing the marrow bone rubbed with garlic, butter, red chili flakes, a little bit of fresh lemon, so the roasted marrow bone, braised greens, and Tuscan-style white beans. And then for dessert, we're doing a black cherry buttermilk panna cotta. And all of this is because I'm actually doing a culinary tour to Italy in October. One of the gentlemen that works with me runs culinary tours, and he and I have decided, he runs tours to Italy, and we've decided to do a culinary tour to Italy, and it's 11 days, and it's 12 people, and it includes some wine schools, some cooking schools, some sights and sounds, and so this feast was sort of, because we really want to launch the idea that we're going to go to Italy in October. So you get to go with me and with him and only 12 other people.
The itinerary looks fabulous.
You've seen it.
Tuscany, Umbria. I mean, you look to wineries, to cooking schools.
Yep, we're going to Venice.
It looks wonderful.
Yeah, Rome.
I really think you need to bring a sommelier with you. If you need one, please let me know.
Sounds like a great Christmas present,
Yeah,
Ginger.
hello. Anyway, we're very excited that you're here to give you a little demonstration for us today, and also very excited that you brought along some, of course, Sheldrake Point wines. What grows together goes together, right? So
absolutely.
You are very much passionate about using ingredients from the region. I mean, as far as meats, chickens, free-range, local foods, which is so important. And there's actually an organization called the Culinary Bounty that you've done things with. And
yep, I do their annual dinner, and I've been a Culinary Bounty member since I opened the restaurant in Trumansburg, which was in 2002. So that's a big part of what I do is, I find that if you're supporting the community around you, they're going to support you, whether it's the farmers or the winemakers or other restaurateurs. So that's been a big part of why I choose to buy local.
Locavore, it's the hot thing now. Everybody's going back to what's grown in your region, and it's fabulous that we have all these great treasures in the Finger Lakes that you managed to find. What are you going to make for us today?
So we're doing a baked mozzarella appetizer. What's really great about this is it can be made ahead of time before your guests arrive. You can hold it in the refrigerator or at room temperature. We're topping that with some oven-cured tomatoes. So these are tomatoes that I harvested in the summer season. I cured them in the oven at a really low temperature overnight, and then I actually froze them so that I could pull them out and use them throughout the winter months. It's a lot of what I've learned to do being in the Finger Lakes is taking ingredients that are in season and finding ways to either freeze them, dry them, cure them, so that we can utilize them throughout the winter months, because obviously it's kind of hard to be the locavore in the winter months. So.
I love oven dried and sun dried. What's the difference? Like, do you prefer one or the other as far as flavor?
I like oven dried tomatoes. I find them a little bit moister, and I like it's sort of a, I don't know, it's not a slower drying process. I'm sure that I don't know a lot about how sun-dried tomatoes are made, except I'm sure they're done in the sun. But I like the flavor that comes out of oven cureds, and I find it's a great way then to take this and you can make a marinara or a fresh tomato ketchup or something like that by really extracting a lot of the moisture out. From season to season, tomatoes sometimes have a lot of extra moisture in them. It's a great way to extract that water out, and then from there make a really beautiful sauce for product. So,
how long does it take? Like, if I wanted to make oven-dried tomatoes today, how long will it take me to do it?
Well, I usually take them and cut them and put them on a cookie sheet tray, put the oven at 225, and right before you go to bed at night, and when you wake up in the morning, they're going to be done.
Perfect.
So just overnight. I've topped that with some Greek country olives, and then we're going to take just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And we also have some red pepper chili flakes there. And then we're just going to pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes. They're all bubbly, steamy hot here. Finished dish. We're going to top that off with just a little bit of fresh basil. And with that, we've made a focaccia bread, and that's topped with caramelized onions and white balsamic vinegar. A little fresh sage.
This looks fabulous.
Thank you.
Looks so Mediterranean and delicious. So after hearing all these things that you've done, you've got a lot of courage. You've done some wild things. You've ventured into the restaurant business, and somebody told me once that you actually tried bungee jumping.
Yeah, actually I went back to South Africa in February of 2010, visiting my grandmother for her 90th birthday. And I decided to visit areas that I had grown up vacationing as a child but hadn't been back to in about 15 years. And about 2 hours from where my grandmother lives is the world's highest bungee jump at the Below-Krans River Bridge. And I was like, I'm here, I'm in South Africa, how can you be that close to the world's highest bungee jump and not not do the bungee. So
how high is it?
it is 210 meters. Right?
You're
meters?
crazy.
Yeah, 210 meters, so 600 and something feet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, were you more nervous on the bungee or in front of the 3 judges at CHOP?
Definitely in front of the 3 judges. The bungee jump was no big deal. I was staring out at a beautiful ravine. It was summertime. I mean, you don't look down. Plus, I had the Argentinian rugby team behind me. I was the only woman jumping with 24 rugby players. So
can I say something? You know how to live life, don't you? It must be the red hair. Something, I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know.
And you also have a cookbook out.
I do.
That's great.
Yeah.
Where can people find it?
It's actually available at the winery, Mama Red's Comfort Kitchen. We are about 10 books away from selling out of the first edition. We're just about to reprint the book. It comes with a music CD, which is Richie Stearns and the Evil City String Band. And it's based on Monday night recipes from Simply Red. It's all the Southern-style comfort food recipes that we've done over the last 8 years. And actually, there's a few South African recipes in here, dishes that I grew up with from my childhood.
Oh, that's fabulous.
It's $20 for a cookbook and CD.
Buy it. It's an excellent, and I can vouch for it. I play the CD in my car all the time. I love it. It's great music. Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you here, and we hope that you come back many, many times to cook at the Seasonal Kitchen.
As many as they'll have me.
And we'll keep watching you for more things on Food Network in the future. Thanks so much for coming.
My name is Samantha Buyskes, and you're watching me on RochesterFoodNet.com.